A very good morning to you, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be at this point. My name is Patrick Daniel Chisanga. I am a corporate governance consultant based in Zambia. Some of you will recall that 5 years ago, I published my first book on corporate governance with the title, and it's right here, The Development and Practice of Corporate Governance in Zambia. That was after I observed that on the African continent, those countries that had advanced the practice and implementation of sound corporate governance systems in their economies were performing very, very well. And I felt that I would take Zambia as a starting point. And in this book, I discuss the genesis of corporate governance in Zambia from in time of independence in 1964 to the current stage at that time in 2020. And in the process, this book has become very, very highly demanded in the boardrooms of Zambia, in colleges of business, in the universities. And at about the same time, we have seen a rapid growth in the inflows of foreign direct investment into the Zambian economy. So it proved to me and others that there is a very strong correlation between sound corporate governance practices and the development levels of a country, anywhere in Africa and beyond. So with that background, I was inspired to take my research to the next level. I decided to look at the evolution of corporate governance across the 54 countries of the African continent. And I observed that just as we have a diversity of cultures, just as we have a diversity of economic levels, it's also true that the levels of corporate governance in different countries in Africa is very diverse. Some have done very well. Some are economically strong, others are struggling, and there's a whole lot in between. And I felt that the same thinking that prompted me to write my first book about Zambia would be useful at the African level. So I'm very, very proud this morning to be able to announce to the African continent that I have just about published my second book on corporate governance, and this time focusing on the African continent as a whole. I have called it The Evolution of Corporate Governance Across Africa. In this book, I have taken a sample of 20 African countries from the north, the south, the east, the west, Anglophone, Francophone, and the Arab countries as well, to unpack what has happened in these countries. And it's a very, very, very interesting revelation, what we have discovered, which now forms the subject of this book. Again, the picture remains very much the same. Those countries in Africa that have advanced their corporate governance systems are doing exceptionally well in their economies. And so I'm commending this book to everybody out there in the boardrooms of Africa, across the African continent, in the colleges, in the universities, to get a copy of this book. In this book, you will be able to see how corporate governance has evolved in different countries on the continent, the struggles they have faced, the reforms that have taken place in different countries, the legal framework that has supported the growth of corporate governance. And again, the picture remains very clear that corporate governance, sound corporate governance, is the way forward for the African continent. My last page, my last chapter in this book, I project on what I expect to see in the next 25 years going forward. And it becomes very clear again that those countries that are going to go beyond a simple box-ticking process of corporate governance to actually embedding the systems and reforms of corporate governance are going to perform a lot better economically, without question. Let me commend this book to you, and it will be on sale in the bookstores of Africa and online with Dynamic Concepts Zambia Limited, our corporate governance consulting firm. See you at the bookstore very soon.